How's everything?
Good. How you
Doing
doing?
the rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess just to move into it, how do you feel? The album's been received by the people and the industry, even.
Um. One sec. I'm sorry. Um. Oh, how's the album?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you never know, man. Um. I think some people saw it, and I think the Bridging the Gap record was inspirational. And I think I can only tell with time
Mm-hmm.
when I see people on the street.
Yeah. It's not exactly. I mean, the whole thing with it earlier was like it's such a unconventional album. No single was how everybody was talking about it and everything. Um, do you feel that sort of took away sales wise, or you know?
It's possible,
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this record I looked at as it's like yeah, obviously you can hear it and tell sales wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the point of this
Right.
album,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Um, you plan to do a new album, or do you have like a different approach?
Absolutely. It won't be a double album.
Right.
It'll be back to the single joint.
Okay.
Something different though.
Okay.
Definitely.
What about I know you're kind of tight-lipped about this, but can you speak on the movie in maybe a more general sense?
The
Just
thing I'm writing is about my life right now.
okay.
So that's basically it.
Is it gonna be your life? Because I know a lot of artists, they like Eminem and 50. They're like
Yeah,
loosely
you can't,
based.
yeah, you can't give them everything, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But it's gonna be a lot in there.
Why y'all do that? Is that legally wise or?
I mean, who knows if someone wants to go to a movie theater and watch your life, everything that really happened.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You might want to, you might not. That's not movie material. It's not. That's documentary material.
Right.
But movie material is to be smart about it, to give it that movie magic.
Okay. Okay. Now, in a couple years ago, I used to work at this place called Volume, and they were trying to get you to write like some short stories for them.
Yeah.
But now you're moving into the novel realm. Like, what made you do that, and what can people expect? Are these gonna be street tales like Donald Goines or something like Stephen King?
It'll be like for me, it'll be like street tales from me, and based on my life too, based on my experiences and what I've seen.
How detailed will they be? I mean, plot wise. I mean, like no disrespect to anybody that does street stories, but a lot of them are real simple, real. But your writing style isn't really simple as a lyricist.
I think like if you listen to my music before, then you'd have a certain type of interest for the book, and for each page to see what's on the next page. They kind of go, not it's not poetry, but they kind of will work hand in hand on how it's done.
Okay. Um, moving on, like you had your wedding on TV. Being that you're such a private person, what made you, do that?
I agreed to it because that's what my wife wanted,
Oh yeah.
and they also agreed to give us a copy of the entire wedding, really edited up really nice, so we didn't have to do it ourselves. They had us with professional cameras up in there, so we can have that whole marriage together forever. And an important thing that she brought to my attention was that black men should see this. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah. Now so many rappers are like kind of like married on the low, or like it's not really quote unquote cool to be married as a rapper, for one, and two, even almost as a black man. Like, what made you be so public with it?
I didn't know how to hide it,
Yeah.
and it wasn't my intentions to make it hugely public or keep it real quiet. It was just it is,
Yeah.
and it wound up being in my music, and it's never been done. And I said, hey, that's cool. I like to do things that brothers ain't never done. So it kind of gives me a balance. Whereas at one point I'm very low, another point is I need these things also to keep it out there, keep my face out there. At the same time, it's going with the stuff that's on the album. When you see me, me with my girl, and I talk about it on the album because it's not about a show. It's not a show with us, but I'm kind of talking about as a man. I'm talking grown man things, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just for this album, I think.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but it's just I had to. This is what was happening in my life. I'm planning a wedding, so this is what happened in my music.
A lot of people are calling you like the adult of the rap world. You know, I mean, rap seems to be it's always youth oriented, obviously, but you know, more rappers are 30 and up now, and you can't really necessarily see that reflected in the music. Do you feel that you kind of represent more mature things?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's my whole career I've been able to talk about crazy stuff,
Yeah.
but you know, this year I've been engulfed in wedding planning
Yeah.
and engulfed in life changing things, whether it's outside of the wedding, all kinds of things, So it gets into the music because I don't hear it in nobody else's music.
Right.
And, besides the Scarface, I can hear reality in his music,
Yeah,
but I don't hear it in nobody else.
Okay. Now, moving along with your business endeavors, what's up with Ill Will Records? I know you got Quan. Can you speak on, what made you sign him and where you want to take the label?
Quan is somebody who my boy introduced me to as somebody who rap and sings. So that's what made me want to get with him, you know what I'm saying? I met him, he produces as well. I said, he's a multi-talent, you know what I mean? It's not like, just somebody who's rhyming. A lot of dudes just rhyme.
Right.
And that's cool, but I wanted to try something different,
Yeah.
Does
hip hop bore you these days? Or,
It can if
Yeah.
you lit it.
Right.
You can't lit it. And you got to really look into it and really know that there's something good in there and know that these artists are good and they're developing in front of our eyes. So it's not good to put nobody down because I like almost all the artists out there.
Right.
It bores you where there are no albums. Like I used to buy an album, like that's why I made this double album because Street's Disciple is like what my version of a Life After Death or Me Against the World or the W or Wu Forever W album. And Scarface My Homies, you know what I mean?
Right.
There are no albums no more, and that's why I wanted to do this.
So with the label, I mean, what are your plans? Is it just Quan? You have other artists on the roster, or
I got a few other artists we developing now.
Okay.
So I want to make this year a year that I do take time and have faith in these new artists to do their thing.
Okay. What's the deal with the Bravehearts? Are they still doing their thing? I mean, I know things got a little bit shaky with the album. Are they still coming out again, or
they're definitely working again? They're going through a learning experience,
Right.
And they're working at it again, and they played me some stuff. It's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with all this this maturity talk, you and 50 Cent have kind of somewhat gone back and forth. I know you had things to say at Central Park, and he's apparently had things to say about you and Khalees on the new Unheard Piggy Bank record. Do you have any comments on that?
Nah, I mean, 50 Cent is comes underneath me too. You know what I'm saying? He was with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have a history,
Yeah.
and obviously he was, going through some things and felt that I was against him, and I felt he was against me. So words are exchanged here and there. But nah, man, my thing is I'm all good, and he's fairly a new artist. You know what I'm saying? My goals are different from his goals. We're
Right.
two different kind of guys, and I think we just hold it down.
Yeah.
We both hold it down, and this goes for any MC. I'm not into calling names no more. I'm past that. But if I go in, I go in. If somebody really got to call me out, you know what I bring to the table. You know my record. You know I'm you know my record. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go in on whoever it is.
You might have some ether for.
I mean, man, it's just what we do. This is the nature of the business, and it's good. It's good for the music,
Yeah. Now I know that this is a little bit old, but there was some rumblings that you and Jay might mend y'all's type of thing and maybe do a collaboration. Is that out of the question now, or I know that the hype is gone. I mean, sometimes things happen.
I don't really know about that.
Oh, okay. So that was just talk.
I think dudes just be into the game,
Yeah.
I mean?
You think the fans take things too far? Like, I know, especially on the internet, I mean, stuff just goes crazy, and a lot of times it might be nothing even
You know
there.
what? When they stop, then we gotta worry.
Yeah,
Because I think the fans should. I'm a fan. And, you know, sometimes I get crazy about it. So
right, right.
when we stop all liking this shit, it's over.
Yeah, yeah. Are you ever on the internet? Like, I mean, I see you got your BlackBerry.
Nah,
Nah.
I'm not. Nah.
Nah.
It's every once in a blue.
Yeah. Okay, okay. What are your thoughts on Game? He has a lot of respect for you, which is funny that he's down with 50. But what are your thoughts on him?
I think Game is one of the best new guys to come out because a lot of the new guys that come out, they sound like somebody and they don't really tell you why. This
Right.
the Game is like. Game is dope because he's telling you why he's a student of the game. Like we're all the ones who make it are students, and you become a pupil, a teacher, and he's a pupil in the game, and he tells you that.
Right.
In that respect that he had, that's why his name is the Game.
Yeah,
I think that is a great look for hip hop. I think he's great.
Okay. And, you know, you had at one point a close affiliation with Murder Inc. Do you have any thoughts on what they're going through? I mean, have you been in touch with them or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been in touch with Irv, man. My heart goes out to them, and I pray. My prayers are with them as well. You know, it's a shame because of the ignorance that we, the people, have for, you know, us people, is so crazy. They don't understand us, and they just see us as all criminals. You know, and they don't understand how we, the people, has made it that way for us people.
Right.
And they don't understand when people try to do legit things, they still may know people from the streets. You know, I know tons of, there's not one rapper who doesn't know people from the street. There's not one big Jewish Hollywood producer who don't know gangsters in the street.
Yeah.
There's not one person who's making any fortune that don't know tough guys.
Right.
You know? And it's a shame that I think they're taking advantage of the name Murder Inc. and, you know, and they're under a lot of you know, surveillance because of that. But hopefully things turn out the best.
Are the streets getting in the industry too much? Like, in not naming any names, but there's like straight gangsters in the industry that we all know about. And are they bringing an element that we don't necessarily need in hip hop? And they want money, but may not necessarily care about, say, the art as much.
You have to figure out, the gangsters in hip hop have to figure out how to keep the dead bodies from the studio lobbies, the dead bodies from the radio stations, the dead bodies in the record companies. You can't do it like that because then you shitting where you eating. And the other guys in Hollywood and other parts of the game, they don't shit where they eat. And when they do, the media and the police cover it up. They turn John Gotti into a celebrity, but Irv Gotti is a monster and an animal. You see what I'm saying? And that's on purpose. So, you know, they just have to realize, the street gangsters got to realize, you're going to handle your business, keep it away from the radio station, keep it away from the TV, keep it away from where they can, you know, bring this along and make it all connected.
Okay. And this is Black History Month. All this is a part of history. Do you feel like, you know, as a people, black people are moving? I mean, I've been thinking about